up? It's Alexis Oakley. Today I'm here with Megan Heaton and we're gonna be filming an everyday makeup tutorial for you guys. So if you guys are interested, keep watching. Okay.
Good morning from us.
So I always start with the eyes and I just take a concealer and put this all over her eyelid, and that's what I'm gonna use to kind of prep it. And I drag the concealer out pretty far because I get really messy with my eyeshadow and then clean it up with a makeup wipe after.
I'm like learning too right now.
Really?
I'm also eating fruit. You guys are. It's fruit first, okay? Because you'll be really skinny if you do it.
Yeah, fruit first, before noon.
Fruit before noon, so you can shit everywhere.
Is that what it does?
Yeah. And I guess fruit gets digested in 20 minutes. And so it's like, it'll give you like a boost of energy and it makes you shit. And then it like gives your digestive tracts a chance to relax. I'm a doctor.
We're not even just learning about makeup today.
Yeah, welcome to Megan's nutrition class.
And then after, I just take a beauty blender and I'm gonna blend that out and then set it with some translucent powder. My favorite's the Laura Mercier.
I love Laura Mercier.
It's so good. We're done.
Shut the fuck
Like,
up.
I'll have to tell you about that after, yeah.
That was me stress eating.
Literally. No.
Bitch.
Literally. So then I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette and I'm gonna use the shade Peach Tea. And I'm just gonna apply this to her crease.
We have a visitor.
And I'm just blending this out as I go using circular motions. And I kind of drag it up on the outer part of the eye just to make her eye really lifted.
This is really great. Did like a cut crease, I just showed you.
It looks so good.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we should do a tutorial on a cut crease soon.
Because I honestly needed it, because I was like, I don't know what
That'd
I'm
be
doing.
fun.
I just put a piece of Scotch tape on my eye.
Wait, did you really?
Yes.
It looks great though.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Literally learned from you mostly.
And then I'm gonna go in with the KKW, the Artist in the Muse palette, and use the shade Don't Move. And I'm just gonna apply this on the outer half of her eye. You posted on your Instagram that you were looking for a makeup artist for New Year's Eve, and my aunt sent me your account because my aunt's been following you for a long time.
Wait, no way.
Yeah, and she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, you should do this, girl, she's so cute.
So I had like 3 people message me that you should do my makeup.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
But I was like, okay, so many people think she's so good, and then also like, I actually like, because when you go to their pages, a lot of the time you're like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I was like, her, done, boots. And that was for New Year's.
Yeah. So that was like
we were
pretty
in
recently.
2020. Yeah. I feel like I've known you for longer.
I know, it feels like it. But we've done a lot since then.
Yes. Worked with a lot of makeup artists, and it's the only one I really like. I don't tell everybody else.
And then I'm gonna take the shade New York City to LA. And this is just like a light shimmer. And I'm gonna apply this on the inner half. What's like your normal everyday makeup routine?
Okay, what we did our tutorial on whenever I was drunk, also high at the same time.
Yeah. That one?
that one?
I remember that one.
That makeup, I just copy. I've watched it a million times, that video, and I just copy
That's
exactly
so
what
funny.
you did. Like, it's like very smoky, like warm brown, and then white on the inner,
Yeah.
and then like brown down here. I do my version of adding a couple lashes by cutting
A strip lash?
a strip lash in half and just putting on the outer corner. Oh my gosh, the girl Cassandra who did my makeup Saturday was like, how did Alexis put lashes on you with your eyelashes this curly? I'm like, it's Alexis.
And then I just take a clean blending brush and I'm just gonna blend all of the harsh edges out. That's one of the easiest ways to blend too, is using a clean brush, because otherwise you're gonna make it super muddy and blend all the colors together.
That's good to know. Also, what brush cleaner do you use?
Cinema Secrets.
Oh,
this is it.
I thought this was a water bottle you brought every time.
No.
So this stuff smells
so good.
freaking good. Like, it doesn't smell as good from the bottle, but like on the brush, it's crazy. It's like vanilla.
It smells really good.
I'm gonna order that, and I'm also, my next question to you would be, what brushes, like if there was a brush set that you were like, everyone should just get this, this is just perfect, because I need to do this.
Right. Sephora has really good sets, and then Morphe has good sets. Like any of the Morphe sets.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're really affordable too.
The Morphe are?
Yeah.
Now, what's like the best of the best?
These ones, they're okay tutorial.
Hey girl.
These ones are so good. I don't remember how much they are, but they're a little more pricey. And then I just take a makeup wipe, and my favorite are the Honest Beauty, and I just clean up all of the fallout. And then this is how I make the eye lifted and catty. I just take the makeup wipe and literally just pull up on the edge and this is just gonna cut it really nice.
You don't use tape. Scotch tape.
I don't. But another easier way than using tape is using eye patches. Put on your eye patches and kind of have the ends up a little bit, and so then it's like, it preps your under eyes and it helps, just because tape's like so hard on your skin.
Oh my God.
I do that a lot of times too, but I'm out of them right now.
Like my mind has just been blown. Like obviously that makes total sense. They literally go up like that.
Yeah, that's why I do eye patches a lot of times first. But this is an easy way too, because it's like you can just be so messy with the eyeshadow, you don't have to perfect it. And then this like fixes it for you.
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite part.
This is so good. This is the Sisley eye contour cream. And so I apply this on everyone before I start their makeup always.
Feels like she's rubbing like butter on my face. And it feels really good.
And then this is our actual favorite part,
Yeah.
the Tacho water cream.
And it smells good.
It's so good. This is probably the one thing, like if you're gonna splurge on something makeup wise, I definitely suggest this.
Yeah, me too.
Because skincare comes first. Like you can have great makeup, but if your skin's not good, it's not gonna have the same effect.
And it feels insane.
It was so funny. I think it was either the first time I did your makeup or the second time, like the day after you went to Sephora.
Yeah. Oh my God. Literally the day after she did our makeup, we were so hungover the next day, and so obviously when you're hungover, you feel bad for yourself.
Of course.
And so you go spend money on yourself.
Definitely.
And so I went to Sephora and I bought everything that she had told me to get. And then I put up a story and I like blamed her. I was like, Alexis Oakley just made me spend $500 at Sephora.
Literally every post, it was like, I bought this because Alexis Oakley told me to. Alexis Oakley told me to. It was so funny.
Everyone was
People
dying.
started doing that.
Yeah,
For a little bit afterwards. They were like, I bought this because Alexis Oakley told me to. I was like, you started a trend.
Wait, that should be like your thing, like because Alexis Oakley told me to.
Honestly, okay, so if you guys buy any products from this tutorial,
Yes.
post it, tag me,
Say,
because Alexis Oakley told me to.
And that's like the reason you had to spend all that money on
Yeah.
yourself, was because it was her fault. That's how I validated it. That
Exactly. And then now I'm using the Biossance Vitamin C Rose Oil, and I'm just massaging this into her skin. I really like using a cream moisturizer and an oil. I know some people don't like to because they think it's gonna look too oily, but I find it works really well on most people. Even if they have oily skin, I'll just do it on the high points of their face for like an extra inner glow. And then for foundation, I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. This is like my ride or die foundation, honestly. It works on everyone. And so I'm just applying this. I start with a brush and then I'll go in and blend it out with a beauty blender.
Is this technically a foundation brush?
Yeah, this is, I think it's the 153S, but it's just like a stippling brush. And so this is gonna give you like a light to medium coverage. The denser the brush, the more full coverage it's gonna give you. But I like this one if we're just doing like a nice everyday makeup. And then I'll just go in with a beauty blender and blend it out. And this will kind of pick up any excess product on the face too. Blend it down to the neck too. What's your go-to foundation?
Whatever you just did. So I just get that. I literally take whatever she told me to get. I take it into Sephora and I'm like, this. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but this is what I want. I just bring my makeup bag with me. I'm like, duplicate. I also always try to go see a boy whenever Alexis does my makeup. Take this makeup for a ride.
And then now I'm taking the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette in Intensity 1. And this is a really great cream contour. It's pretty pricey, but the shade works so well. And so I'm just kind of applying this in all of the areas that I'm gonna bronze in a second. So like her forehead, her cheekbones, and her jawline. And I love using creams too because it just gives such a natural effect. Like it's not gonna look harsh at all or unblended because it's so easy to blend out creams versus powders. I feel like a lot of people are scared of cream.
Yeah.
But honestly,
this is a thing.
they're so much easier to use. And like if you mess up, you literally just take your beauty blender and like blend it out.
Yeah.
So easy.
Okay, well this will be the next thing I get. Tom Ford cream contour.
So good.
Remember when I was repeating every single thing?
Yeah.
We've had some great times, y'all.
We have. Our first tutorial, everything I used, she would just say it back every time.
I was just like hammered and was like trying to be good and make sense, and then so I just took it upon myself to repeat Alexis.
It was so funny.
It was.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
We should do a drunk makeup tutorial.
Yes.
That would be funny.
Wait, yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing
100%.
next. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I love the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealers. I use 2 shades. I start with the shade Honey and apply this to kind of cancel out like any dark circles. And it's a really pink shade, so it's gonna help to cancel out anything like that. And then I'll go in with her actual shade.
But that's kind of your color correcting.
Yeah, that's how I color correct. And then I'll go in with your actual shade, and it's Custard from NARS. And so I just literally apply this on top, and then I'll blend it all out together. I basically just draw a line where I cleaned up the eyeshadow, and this is gonna help to lift it even more and define that shadow. And then I'm just gonna go in with a brush and drag this out a little bit, and then I'll go in with a beauty blender in a second. The brush helps me to like place it where I want it, and then the beauty blender helps to blend it, obviously.
And then you literally just tap it in.
Tap, tap, tap in.
I like to use tapping motions, not like dragging motions, because otherwise you're just gonna drag it all out and waste your product. But if you just tap it in, this is what's gonna like really melt it into the skin and make it last throughout the day. And it also won't change the coverage. And then to clean up right here, I'll just take a brush and lightly blend this out so that it doesn't mess up that line, because I don't want to blend this all together. I want it to be a little more harsh. And then I'll just lightly blend over that to kind of like marry it with the eyeshadow. And then for powder, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier again. And so I'll just get some on a brush, and before I powder, I just always make sure everything's super blended so that there's no creasing. And then I'll just go in lightly and dust some powder under her under eye. And then like down the sides of her nose. I basically just set the T-zone. I don't set your entire face just because I still want it to be really glowy. I don't want it to be super matte.
Yeah.
So like the T-zone and like the chin, just any areas that you would get shiny throughout the day. And I love the shade of the Laura Mercier too, because there's never a white cast in photos or anything.
It's funny, the night before we did our tutorial, when I poured the alcohol bottles out, there were photos taken and I was pure white under my
Really?
eyes. And I was like, that is so scary.
And then I set in the middle of the forehead a little bit too to take away the shine. And then I'm gonna go in with her brows. And I'm just using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder, and so I brush up her brows first. I like them super fluffy.
These are all tattoo basically.
Are yours?
Because I like sperm brows. Like imagine the shape of a sperm.
That was your brows?
Yeah.
They look so good that you really can't tell, because I feel like most of the time when people get them done, you can tell, and that's what I'm scared of.
Right.
And then I'm just filling in the areas where they're a little more sparse. I'm not like drawing in a completely different brow. I'm just filling in. So I just do like light hair-like strokes. And then I always just make sure to brush them up afterwards again. Honestly, I feel like if you're not even gonna do makeup in the morning, it's like always brush up your brows, because that just changes everything.
Yeah, it makes you look like more awake.
Yeah, brows and like curling your lashes.
Yeah.
If I'm not wearing makeup, I just like do those two things. So I'm like, okay.
That's good. That's a good tip.
'Cause it just makes you look so awake and like put together at least a little. And then I'm going in with bronzer, and I actually use this isn't even a real bronzer. It's a powder foundation by Kevyn Aucoin. I just love the shade of this. It's in the shade 7. And so I'm basically just going over all the areas where I contoured just to set it, because this is what's gonna make it last throughout the day, is if you do cream first and then set it with powder. And then I just do a little on the chin too. And then for nose, I don't fully do like a nose contour. I just take a fluffy brush and kind of just place a little bit of powder on the sides, just because it kind of pulls everything together. Like if you have bronzer all over your face except for your nose, something is just off. So I'm not like changing the shape, I'm just adding a little shadow. And then I also just take that bronzer and add a little bit into the crease so it looks super monochromatic. You can do this with either your bronzer or your blush just to pull everything together.
What's this?
This is the Too Faced Pop It Don't Peach blush. This is like one of my all-time favorites. It's super glowy and just really peachy. I love the shade because I don't like a super pink blush normally. I like it to be a little more coral based. And so I'm just applying this to the apples of her cheeks and blending upwards.
That smells good. Or is it like
All of
scented?
their stuff, yeah, it smells like peaches. And then they have a chocolate bar one too that smells like chocolate. And then I just take a little and dust it over the sides of the forehead too. And then for highlighter, I'm gonna use a cream highlighter. This is the Kosas Cream Highlighter and Blush Duo in Velvet Melon. I just get some on my beauty blender and then pat it on my hand before I go onto her face so that it's not too much color right away. And I just apply this to all the high points of her face, so the tops of the cheekbones, her forehead, and then I'll do the bridge of the nose too. I really like using a cream highlighter too, because it's more natural and like a glow from within versus so highlighter and blinding. And then I apply some to like her Cupid's bow too. And then once I'm done with that, I'll just take my beauty blender and go over my blush, my bronzer, all of that, and just kind of press it in. You don't want to pull during this at all because that's going to change the makeup. But this will just kind of like melt it into the skin and make sure there's no harsh lines at all. And then I'm going to use brow gel, and I'm just using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to brush up her brows. I always like to wait to brush up the brows and like set them until I'm done with bronzer and everything, because that's just going to make them go back down again. And then I'm going to take that same shade we used on the eyes earlier, Peach Tea, and I'm going to have you look up, and this is the shadow that I'm going to do underneath in your lower lash line. And I just bring this all the way to the tear duct, to the outer part of the eye, all across that lash line.
This was probably the biggest game changer whenever we did our tutorial.
Really?
For me, it was like doing shadow underneath that matches.
It just ties it all together, and then I take a little bit of the bronzer too, and that's how I blend out that shadow. And I'll literally just take this over the edge to kind of soften it. And then again, it just helps make everything look super monochromatic and really smoky too. It just pulls the whole look together. And then I love an inner corner highlight on her eyes. And so I'm just gonna take the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. I do this on pretty much everyone too, just because it makes you look so awake and bright. So I just apply a little highlighter to the inner corner. And that just like changes everything.
Everyone should have Champagne Pop, and everyone should have Tacho water cream.
True.
And also everything else that she has said.
And then normally I curl lashes, but she just got a lash lift, so there's no need to. So I'm just gonna go in with mascara, and I'm using the Lancome Hypnose Drama. And then I'm gonna go in with lips, and I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. And I do a little bit of an overline too, so I always start on the top lip.
Do you do like a darker shade on the outer?
I do sometimes. If I really want to make them look bigger, I'll do a darker shade to kind of like contour the edges. But I don't do it for like every day. Oh, one thing I do is I kind of connect the Cupid's bow. I don't really define it, just because this is gonna help make it look a little more plump. I'm gonna also use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick.
I love this color.
It makes your blue eyes pop so much too. And then I'm gonna use the Patrick Ta gloss, and She's Independent. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do lashes off camera. We're just gonna use Ardell individuals in shorts and mediums. But you guys can always cut a strip in half like Megan was saying, or anything like that.
And I just put it on the outer corners because I'm lazy. Thank you.
Okay, so we just went ahead and did her lashes off camera, and this is the final look. I'm so obsessed with it. Just like a really nice everyday makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow Megan. Give out your socials.
Yes, so follow me on Instagram at Megan_Heaton, and then TikTok Megan Heaton. Twitter's Megan Noel Heaton, Facebook Megan Heaton. Just do all the things.
TikTok queen.
TikTok queen.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to follow us both, and I'll see you guys next Friday.